This is a true story. I mean, I'm sitting in a restaurant ready to eat, and all of a sudden, my food is talking to me. Okay. I'm sure you've all had that experience.
Every day.
Angry salad.
Yeah.
The steak is ordered, and an angry salad sits before me. That's right, she says, just ignore me. I'm sure his bloody flanks won't bore you. Tittleberry Blues. Flew too close to the sun, burnt her baby wings off. Now that was not fun. Fell feet first to the earth, her bladder had burst. Now she spends her time drinking cranberry juice, munching her urologist or two, while making verse. I love it when people are able to memorize their own poetry. I just have real proud. But I have one poem, probably one of my shortest, if you can believe it, any shorter ones than this. But title is What Lips Can Do. Walk a half a mile across my face. Thank you.
I don't memorize anything. I like having the paper there. Yeah.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Okay, and the next person on our list is Matthew. I don't have anything new to read, but I'm going to read more of what I read before. This is from Design and Immortality, the second thing I read here. For a recap, Morin and his son have left Antarctica, and this is how it goes. As the trio walked through the slightly narrow hallway, they came across a sleek boat floating on cold, icy water. Farnrice fiddled with the controls on its control belt, which made the cargo carrier drum bob up and down while walking to the boat with the crate in hand. "Quit fooling around this instant," Morgan snapped at the boy. Farnrice stopped playing with his robot and made it carry the crate into the hull. For what appeared to be a small boat, there was a great deal of room inside it. This was because most of the boat was actually submerged underwater. There were 4 living quarters, a laboratory, a galley, and a control room. The ship was chrome in color and was completely smooth on the outside. Morin walked to the control room and activated the controls. The console lit up with a blue glow. Morin typed the coordinates for the ship's next destination. On one of the screens, a map of Great Britain appeared with the line leading from Antarctica to England. For such a nautically advanced ship, the journey still took a day to complete. The ship landed in a harbor in the south. "Why are we in England?" Farnrice asked. It was a reasonable question, as Morgan kept a great deal of secrets from the boy. "We are here to meet a colleague of mine," replied Morgan in a tone that seemed almost happy. This is a surprise for Farnrice. "But it's forbidden to have acquaintances not of Antarctic descent," Farnrice said. He practically recited the first rule of Craywell 7. "It matters not. From now on, we are no longer citizens of Craywell or Antarctica," Morgan said as he rummaged through a small crate in one of the living quarters where he found the proper British attire for both himself and his son. "Changing to these clothes, we need to look inconspicuous," Morgan said as he gave Farnrice the second set of clothes. "And remember to speak English and English only," Morgan said as he closed the door to his living quarters. The two walked out of the ship and onto the dock where the ship was now stationed. Morgan wore a pair of brown trousers, an olive green vest over a white dress shirt, and a bowler derby to hide his pointed ears. Farnrice wore a pair of gray pants, a maroon dress shirt under a brown jacket and a cap to hide his ears. In front of the warehouse facing the dimly lit docks was an elderly man in a gray German officer's uniform and a long cloak that was so dark of purple it appeared black. The man was hunched over and carried a large metal walking stick with a large glowing orange gem on top. Behind the elderly man was a German officer in a similar uniform with shiny black boots and gloves as well as a red armband. On the young officer's hip was a black leather belt with a pistol holster to it. He had a grim perfectly chiseled face, and he watched the two pale-skinned Antarcticans very closely. Warren extended a gloved hand to the old man, which the old man accepted and the two shook hands. "It's good to see you after all these years, Dorian," Morwen said as he shook the hand of the elderly man. As it is to see you, my friend," Dorian said with a European accent. "Now, who is this young lad?" he asked, pointing a crooked finger in the direction of Farnreist. "This is my son, Famonil," Morwen answered. He was getting rather tired of all the pleasantries. "It's actually Farnreist," his son piped in. He was excited to see new people, even though it looked so strange. "A son? I did not know we had women on Antarctica," Dorian said with a confused look on his wrinkled face. "What's women?" asked Farnreist inquisitively about the new strange world. "Not now, son," Morwen said to his son, and directed his attention to Dorian and said, "You know we don't have any women on Antarctica. We use cloning," in a hushed voice. "What is this cloning of which you speak?" Dorian asked. His European accent was still as thick as before. "In simplified terms, it's a form of exact biological duplication," Morwen whispered, trying not to be heard by anyone else. "This intrigues me," Dorian said as he stroked his beard. "Do you have the technology with you to show me this cloning of which you speak?" "No, I do not, and I wouldn't abuse cloning by making an army of clones," Morwen replied, the anger visible in his speech. "Very well. We should be on our way. Follow me," Dorian said as he nodded to the German officer and hobbled to their car. This next part is a year later. After months of failed test subjects for his experiment, Morwen searched for a more resilient test subject around the criminal underworld of England. Morwen and his son, Farnreist, entered a shabby English tavern to search for potential subjects. The tavern was called the Broken Barrel. The name suited the place as it was a sleazy watering hole where crooks, thieves, and con men went to get their fix of alcohol. Morwen and Farnreist were sure to stick out, but luckily there weren't many people inside. Morwen went to the bar and ordered some tea, his son following him like a loyal dog. After receiving their tea, a strange man came into the tavern. He wore a soot-covered coat and a tattered cap along his long, untamed brown hair. His eyes were light hazel and bloodshot. He staggered to the barkeep and slapped a few coins on the table. "Hey, give me my usual," he bellowed. His speech was quick and his words almost blurred together. The bartender knew, as well as his usual, the hardest liquor in all of Liverpool. Once he received his favorite drink, he downed it instantly and slammed his head on the counter. The man's mouth and nose were bleeding slightly. He took out more money and asked for another. "It's enough booze for you, Brody. You already look drunk to me," the bartender said as he pushed the money back to Brody. "Oh, come on, Davy, I need me booze," he begged. "My name's not Davy, you twit. Now get out of this place," the bartender ordered. "I'll pay you double," Brody pleaded as he pulled out more money from his coat pocket. Before Brody could add the extra money to the pile, the bartender's fist became acquainted with Brody's face. Brody fell backwards off his stool and landed on the floor. The few patrons of the tavern that were there all looked at the scene. Morwen watched extremely closely, believing that this man might be a useful candidate for his experiment. Brody took the stool and stood up and swung at the barkeep. His first swing missed, but hit him in the back of the head as he swung the stool back to himself. The bartender fell unconscious onto the counter. Brody took a bottle of liquor from the shelf and ran out of the tavern. "He's perfect, Faramir," Morwen said as he put his money on the table and walked to the door. Farnreist followed behind him, attempting to correct his father about his name. Outside the tavern, Brody sat on the road drinking his alcohol. "Excuse me, sir, would you like to be a part of a science experiment? We'll pay you well for your services," Morwen asked the inebriated man. "I don't know. You seem like a kooky sumbitch." "How about some of the most potent alcohol in the entire world? Atlantean wine? The flavor is quite exquisite." Morin said as he took out an exotic-looking bottle with spiraled patterns. Brody eyed it as if it were the most beautiful thing in existence. He grabbed the bottle and chugged it greedily. The alcohol took effect almost immediately. It was the most wonderful sensation ever.